Hello, fellow moms and teens. I'm really excited for today's episode because it's the first in a series of support for my upcoming workshop. Now, the goal of the workshop is going to be identifying the negative emotions that you're feeling as a mom. And when you are identifying the negative emotions, you can come and watch these videos to understand more about some of the top negative emotions that we're feeling as moms. And I thought that the first one that would be a good to start with is worried, because a lot of us parents are worried about our teens. And I'll tell you that it's been passed down from my grandma to my mom and then to me. But finally, I'm the first one who's putting a stop to that. And I'm going to work through all of the thoughts that are in my head that are causing me to worry about my teens. And I'm going to be more intentional and, find better feelings on that platter of feelings that I want to feel. And I'm going to practice them instead of worrying and feeling exhausted from all of the worry and sometimes not even realizing that the worry is happening in my head. So I'm definitely doing the work on that because it's something that is really big in my life. And the one reason I think that it's so big for us parents is because it feels necessary. It feels like when we are worrying, we're accomplishing something, like we're doing our jobs as a parent when we're worrying. And, they're out of the house, maybe they're driving a car and you're worrying, right? Or they're out on a date and they're worrying, or they get up to bat and you're worrying. And all these times that we're worrying, we think, and our brain tells us that, like, yep, keep doing it. This is comfortable. This is what we're supposed to do. This is how we parent. And some of the examples I have for my mom is like, she would listen to the radio scanner and like constantly. And like one time I was at a party and there was some kind of family dispute and she heard it on the scanner and she knew right away. But really, like, could she do anything about it? Could she prevent it from happening? No, the worrying really doesn't have a result. And it actually does have a negative result in that you're not spending your time enjoying yourself. Like, she wasn't able to sit and watch her TV shows without like half of her ear listening to a radio scanner, right? And you're not able to enjoy your time with yourself if you're worrying with what your teen is doing. And it just takes away from you being able to focus on other things. Maybe you're at work and you're worrying about your teen, then you're not able to focus on work. You're like half assing your work and not able to fully concentrate. So, for each of these negative emotions, part of the work in the workshop that they're going to walk away with is having some questions. And one of them is, what does it feel like? And for worried, I would say for me personally, it feels like this nagging buzzing in my head. Like I know there's something that's going on in my head and I don't quite understand. It just feels heavy and negative and not positive at all, right? Not excited, not happy, totally just like down, right? And like heavy. And I just don't know why. I'm typically like not even realizing that I am worrying. And this is why, identifying negative emotion is so important. Just being able to like not go in autopilot as we typically do and identify like what we're feeling, why we're feeling, what we'd rather feel in the future, right? So then it says, what are the facts of what happened? So we're looking for, what really happened or is happening. So, when like I said, maybe my kids are away from me, they're not with me, and I'm not really in control of them and like in control of their safety, right? And so I'm worried. Maybe I am getting ready for vacation and I'm worried when I'm like in preparation mode, when I'm packing, when we're getting, ready to get on a plane. All of these things cause me to worry. When they're at school, sometimes I even worry that maybe they're going to get in trouble, if they're going to do something wrong, make a bad choice. When they have a test, did they get enough to eat? Did they brush their teeth? Did they get enough to eat for this test? Are they going to be able to concentrate? Did they know all the material? Did they study? All these things, worrying. When they're up to bat, both of my boys play baseball. So like when they're up to bat, I'm worried that they're not going to get a hit. I'm so hoping that they're going to get a hit and they're not going to be embarrassed. When they're playing in the outfield, just worried that they'll catch the ball, and just so that they won't be embarrassed. Just, maybe if they're on a roller coaster, I might worry in the back of my head, like, I hope nothing happens. So there's a lot of places in your life where you may be worrying and not even really realizing it. So the next question is, what are you thinking about what happened or what's happening, right? And I would say, like, when the kids aren't with me, I'm thinking they might get hurt. They might make a bad choice and embarrass me, if they're with someone else's parents. They're going to get in trouble. For the vacation, it's typically like I might forget something that they need, right? That they need to, like medicine. I'm uncertain about like what we're going to do, what enjoyment we're going to have, if they're going to enjoy the time. I'm worried what we're going to eat, because both my kids are like allergic to nuts and the one's allergic to other things. So just like, where are we going to eat? What are we going to eat? Some of those things end up popping up in the back of my head for worrying. When they're at school, like they might get in trouble. I hope they don't get in trouble. And I said about the test, like them eating and concentrating and doing their best. And I hope they're going to get good grades, right? I worry that they're going to fail. And the thoughts I talked about for baseball, hoping that they're going to get a hit, hoping they don't embarrass themselves, hoping that they don't pick on other kids, right? When there are kids that aren't doing well either, I hope that they're supporting them and not maybe bullying, right? Because that's something I worry about too. Is like, are they being a good sport? I hope they're going to be a good sport. I hope the coach can give them good information and they can take that good information, right? All of those are some of the crazy thoughts that are running through my head when I'm worrying, and they may be similar to some that you have. Now, what do I do or don't do when I am thinking those thoughts and feeling worried? So I don't know about you, but I ruminate a lot. Like I'm constantly just thinking about it and, taking my focus off of other things. I question my choice. Like, oh, should I have let them go, without me? Should I have gone? Should we have made this choice to go on this vacation? So I'm constantly questioning like my decision. When they're out, I'm looking at the clock constantly, checking like when they're supposed to be home. Constantly like refreshing their GPS location and like where they are and where they're supposed to be, worrying, right? I check in way too often, texting like, where are you now? Who are you with? What are you doing? Like all of that is coming from worried. And in the baseball game, I'm not enjoying it because I'm so worried about everything that's going to happen, right? I'm not enjoying my time at home alone when my kids are gone because I'm like worrying about what they're doing, if they're going to get hurt, if they're going to get in trouble, all of those things. I'm not enjoying myself. And so while we think that worrying is useful and helpful and is part of our job, it actually causes some like negative outcomes for us, right? And when we take stock in that and we understand that the worrying is actually having a negative impact on us, we can start to, change to pick other feelings that we want and stop the worrying. When we recognize it, know that it exists, understand why it's happening and all of these thoughts that are causing it, understanding the results that it's getting for us, typically nothing. The next step for identifying the negative emotion is what helps me move forward. When I am worrying, right? Typically it's like going to bed that helps me move forward because I'm like, I can't worry anymore. I can't think about this anymore. I'm just going to go to bed, right? I can't keep refreshing their GPS location. It's not getting me anywhere. But what can move me forward? So we're not ready yet to pick and practice the better emotions. We're just identifying our emotions and we're learning about them. So one thing is that realizing that if I continue to worry, it's like keeping my hand on the hot stove, right? Do I want to keep the hand on the hot stove? No. Do I want to continue to ruminate about this? Do I want to bring down my energy with all of these negative, worried feelings and all these thoughts that are causing me to feel worried? No. I'm going to get my hand off that hot stove and I'm just going to realize that it's not really helping me. It's not helping the situation. So stop worrying, right? So what we have is we've identified worried as a feeling that we're feeling a lot. And we've talked about some questions to understand what it feels like when it happens, so that you can recognize when it's happening, what your thoughts are that may be causing it, what you're doing and not doing when you feel that way, and the results of those feelings, which we said are nothing. So it's very unnecessary, and how to move forward. And right now, we're not ready to move to a new thought or feeling that's intentional. We're just going to understand that we don't want to feel worried anymore. And we're going to just get our hand off the hot stove and see that it's not necessary, and that can help us move forward. All right. So if you're feeling worried a lot and you need some one-on-one support, please go to ilovemyteen.com, sign up for a one-on-one session, and we can talk about some of these negative emotions that you're experiencing. All right. And keep your eye out for the workshop on identifying this negative emotions. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.